Professors know that a student's reaction to a failing grade provides a clue to his success potential. When I was a professor at Wayne State University in Detroit some years ago, I had no choice but to turn in a failing grade for a graduating senior. This was a real...
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's book club review. Hi, Dr. Irene. How are you? Nice to have you.
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, I've missed your reviews. Oh, hopefully next
Yeah,
time.
I know. No, the thing is to put the camera on, like the light exposure is not very good. So I said, like, I like to do the reviews. But now to put the camera on, I'm afraid people will not see me well because of the exposure. The light is not very good here.
Okay. Maybe
but
that's
I'll try sometime. I'll try sometime.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
All righty. Awesome. And I'm so excited for the next book we're going to be reviewing. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Awesome.
It's a very good book.
Yes, it is. It is. So amazing. The business of the 21st century. So it's really good. All right. So we are concluding this book today. And the last three chapters, chapter 11, 12, and 13. So it's going to be some form of rapid speed, but I would love to still hear from you if you have any contribution that you want to do. As usual, this is being projected on YouTube, so I can share the replay later for those that could not make it live. So instead of waiting for us to have everybody here, we just go ahead so we have time to do this justice. All right. So chapter 11, this is very, very crucial, right? Because do you agree with me? Everybody experienced one form of defeat or the other. It's common to everyone. And that was the point that David was making here, talking about people on Skid Row. That term is foreign, was foreign to me. So I had to go check it out. What is Skid Row? That is this word right here, Skid Row. What is that, right? And from what I found, it's basically, where you have the downtrodden, the homeless, like maybe you're in a city and a particular street or a particular locality is just, all you find there is just the homeless or those that are very, very poor, that, sleeping in their cars or sleeping in tents or sleeping in sleeping bags on the side of the road and things like that. And he compared their experience with, average people, like anyone, that is just, just going about life regularly, normally, and not really accomplishing much. They don't see themselves as a success. They're just mediocre, average, right? And then they compared the third category of people at the successful. This is what he found. Defeat is common to everybody. So what happened to the reaction or the outcome for the success or for the successful is determined, or the outcome for the successful, the mediocre, and the Skid Row, people on the Skid Row, the significant difference is their response to those defeat. So the downtrodden, the beaten down ones, those that have, that their life is, all of their life is just that, I'm defeated and all of that. What has happened to them is they've accepted their fate. They've seen that is all life can be to them. And then the mediocre too are taking it as, oh, it's only the lucky ones that succeed. And while I was going through these, doing my reviews, it's just, I get to understand that, of course, this book as a professional network marketers, all of us, one way or another, we have other things that we're doing to make money. Some of us are still on the job. Some of us are leaders in our own respective jobs that we do. And if you don't have a job, you have other businesses. You have possibly, businesses that you have employees that are reporting to you. Or if this is the network marketing business is all you do, you are building a team. So at some point, you're a leader in that team. And if you're not a leader yet, even in the network marketing business, in your home, you are a leader, right? So these these 3 chapters will go a long way in defining the type of leader you want to be, and a lot of lessons, a lot of things that we can pick from it. So welcome everybody. Hey, Nasiat. All right, so here is saying the difference between the successful and the mediocre guy, right, in business or in life in general, and then the one that are, beaten down and out. The difference between them is their response. Yes, thank you. Is their response to the defeat. The one thing you can't match them is their response to their defeat. So they have different response. The successful one is not allowing himself to be knocked down and not get back up again. So but Mr. Skid Row is gotten knocked down and he failed to get up by giving excuses that this is what fate has brought me. Those that are successful are just, out of, being lucky and all of that. But Mr. Success reacted differently when he got knocked down. He bounced up, he learned a lesson, forgot the beating, and moved upward. That is very, very essential in how successful we can be in whatever endeavor and in life in general. So one thing I want to, from this chapter right here, one thing I want us to hold on to is that your response to defeat, to disappointment, to a setback, it determines how successful you're going to be in the business. So no matter what happens to you, your mind, you have to train your mind to always look for, okay, what is the lesson, this experience, what lessons is embedded in this experience, okay? And then once you get the lesson, instead of blaming anybody, take the responsibility, pick the lesson, and move forward. Okay? And then all it took was a persistent man who never thought he was defeated. He was talking about a friend of his that was successful here, that built a successful business, a prosperous company, right? And he said he was persistent. He got knocked down. He got back, he bounced back up. He got knocked down, he bounced back up. All right. So one thing we have to determine and set in our thinking, in our thoughts, is that no matter how many times I get knocked out, no matter how many no's I get, no matter how many competitions or some form of promotions that is going on that you have to qualify for, that you've tried in the past but have not been able to meet up or qualify, that does not mean you do not try for others in the future. That you couldn't make the sale today does not mean you don't, continue to do your daily method of operations that will eventually get you to making sales. So it's not taking now here, there was a question that he asked his friend here. He was like, okay, this business, building this business will have taken a lot out of you. But his response was, no, it's not taking something out of me. It's putting something into me instead. So our experiences in life definitely, everything, it comes loaded with lessons that can be blessings to us. So we just need to have that mental fortitude, mental attitude to stay the course, to be persistent and learn the lesson and move forward. Learn the lesson and move forward. All right. Then let's see. This will be a great exercise, and I'm sure possibly some of us already do this. When you're reading the biographies and autobiographies of great people, it seems as if the deeper or the harder they hit the floor, they hit the ground, the harder they hit the ground, the higher they're able to bounce. So it brings about to mind a catapult or an arrow. When you have an arrow, you want to shoot an arrow, the farther you pull it back, when you're pulling it back, it's gaining strength for it to be able to get propelled farther. So in life, sometimes when we get a lot of disappointment, when we bounce back, it's once we've fortified our mind that I'm not going to allow anything to bog me down, I'm not going to allow anything to throw me out. Once we have the mentality of it can get better, it will get better, right? And look for ways to make it better, then we know definitely we're going higher. There are examples of organizations like the Civil Aviation Administration, the CAA, that is in charge of the safety for air travel, right? Air travel has been recorded as the safest way to travel, but when crashes happen, it brings scares, to people. People get scared of flying, but there are in a year, you seldom hear of, multiple crashes. Maybe, you can count on one hand rather. I don't think I've heard of any crash this year. It usually makes news when there are, aviation crashes, right? I mean, at least in the US where I'm resident, right? So, but when crashes happen, they don't just chuck it out. It's one of those things. No, they observe. They go in to find out what is the root cause, what caused this crash, and when they find it, they improve on it and get better. So that prevents future crashes resulting from the same root cause. So that is the way we ought to, whatever failure we find, whatever disappointment that comes our way, it has to be with a mindset that I want to learn what went wrong and then learn from it so that we don't make the same mistake or we don't experience the same failure resulting from the same steps in the future. Okay, so we can do this. If you have employees, you can do this with your employees, right? Review on a monthly basis things that did not go well and then learn from it. In Scrum, I'm in IT, right? And I engage, in software development and testing and all of that. And we run Scrum, we run agile methodology of software development, and using Scrum approach. And part of that is on per project that we do, we sit down and discover, and try to determine what went wrong, what went well, and how may we improve on it, right? So that session at the end of the project is usually a time to dig deep into, appreciate, of course, members of the team, and then dig into things that did not go well. And the goal of that is to now ensure that the future projects, you ensure that things get better, things get run better, right? So, and that's how the group continues to grow. That's how, projects are done effectively. These can be done in our groups as well, in your business as well, in your network marketing business. You can look at it. How did you run the promotion that you did? How did you reach out to people? What are the things? What are the setbacks? And then from there, what can you salvage from that setback? And from there, you get better. You continue to, that's how you build being a professional anyway, right? So very, 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 very essential. That's how we can turn setbacks into victories. Find a lesson, apply it, and then look back on the defeat and smile. Like, I learned something. So defeat, as we know, is a state of mind and nothing more. So don't feel beaten down, but rather find ways to learn from whatever has happened and move forward. Now, there are two ways you can, approach whatever happens, like defeat or disappointment. You can be self-critical, or you can blame other people. Being self-critical is constructive. You're able to dig into your approach, what you did, and how you can make it better. What resulted in the failure or in the disappointment, and how you can make it better. But if you keep blaming other people, you blind yourself to your own role in the whole thing. And when you do that, you fail to learn. You fail to learn, right? So we should not blame others for whatever, happened to us. And other people blame luck for their setbacks. They're like, okay, the successful people are lucky. That's why they're able to make it. The successful people, they have rich friends. The successful people work in a company where, they have rich colleagues that could afford the product. You can begin to think that way. But here we are on social media. We have access to the same set of people, right? You have access to people, in general. And all we need to do is to ensure that we engage as we plan to engage. And if those engagements are not yielding results, we review them, learn from them, and get better. It has nothing to do with luck. The people that are getting results, they've put in the effort at one time or another, right? And they continue to put in the effort. So we cannot do that. So stop blaming luck. Blaming luck never got anyone where he wanted to go. So one thing that blaming luck will get you is you won't be able to be constructive with your executions, right? It says here you have to be persistent and be experimental with experimentation. So that is where the creativity comes in. There are things, daily activities you have to do, but as much as you engage that daily, you have to tweak things around. You have to experiment, you have to make things better and ensure that you get the results that you want, right? Here are two suggestions for developing greater power to experiment. That is, because there's this word that he that is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, there's a name they call it. They say it's madness, right? It's madness. But Now, when you're persistent, when you're doing those same things with experimentation, it takes the craze out of it. It takes the madness out of it, because now you are able to, as you're learning other ways, you're hearing from other people how they're doing it, you're tweaking your ideas, you're tweaking your, your execution. So it's helpful. So here are 2 suggestions. Tell yourself there is a way. One very quick thing that I learned, apart from when I first got to the US, apart from very intrigued with the commercial, the way the TV commercials, the ads, right? The way those come up are the way they are set up are very, very different from the way I was used to in Nigeria. So it captivates me. I actually just look forward to, commercials coming up in between, while I'm watching shows, right? And then when they come up, I try to understand what exactly they're trying to say. So I study commercials. So apart from that, the other thing that I've realized is if I am trying to do something like turn on a faucet, set up like a do-it-yourself, do DIY furniture, for example, because they can ship you a chair, like this chair, they shipped it to us, or you can buy it like this. I mean, you can buy it from the store in a box. And then when you get home, there's instruction, like a 15-page instruction that you can now like begin to put them together. Especially in the experience here, I found that when you're trying to put 2 pieces together and it's proving difficult, I just know I'm doing it wrong. So what I do normally, because now, I'm the one that puts stuff like this together, no matter how big that furniture is, I will sit there, watch the, reviews the steps, and it's thrilling for me because you can see following instructions step by step, you get results. So intriguing for me. Okay. And I started that way because I made up my mind from the beginning. You want to turn on a faucet, it's not coming on. You are not doing it right. It's not difficult. Here in the US, they make things easy. If you're finding it difficult, it means you need to ask somebody to show you how. So in other words, tell yourself there is a way. You cannot say that faucet is broken just because you cannot turn it on. You cannot say, this chair, because you're missing an arm, or you set it up and it's wiggly, and then say the manufacturer did not do the good job. It's because you missed a step or you're missing some tools. The way they've set this place up, it's meant to be easy. I zeroed that in from the beginning. So when I give myself time, when I'm having any challenge, when I'm struggling with anything, I give myself some time, and after that, I ask somebody else. I do research. I don't just get frustrated and leave it. I dig into it to get to the bottom of it. So that is the kind of mentality we must have. There is a way. So all we need to do is find that way. When you believe there is a way, you automatically convert negative energy. What are those negative energy? Quitting, or just, give up. Let's go back. This is not working. I've said it before, it will never work. Or, it works only for some people. It's luck. It's luck. And I don't find it interesting. I'm not lucky at things like this. That is not the mentality. So we have to convert those negative energy into positive energy, which is there is a way. Let's keep going. Let's move ahead. And that persistence of keep going must be married to experimentation. That is what takes the craze out of doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result. Yes, nothing like luck happens in business. Thank you, Dr. Harry. Yes. right? So then number 2, back off and start afresh. For example, putting this chair together while it came in a box, if I struggle at one time or the other, I'll make sure all the tools, all the parts. That's the very first thing you look at. What are the parts that are supposed to come with this? You they number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 30. The big ones, right? They number it up to 30. Make sure you get them. Once you know the parts are complete in the box, then it should work. Now, if you're putting it together and it's not working, maybe you're putting the left, to the right screw, and you're supposed to do it the other way around. So what you need to do then, back off. Go have some water. Go take a walk and come back to your business. You're doing all of these things. You're experimenting. You're, putting in your experimentation, but you're still not getting the result. We've known here that I'm not getting the result does not mean that what I'm doing is not working. All I need to do is tweak my method and be consistent with it. So if you're doing that and it's not still working, back off. Stop posting for some time. I think I've heard Fraser say that, before. Stop posting for some time, maybe for like a week, and then come back and do, while you're waiting, for that, backing off and starting afresh, you're you're researching on how better to get things done, right? And then once you get back, you hit it, right? And when you hit a snag, don't throw up the whole project. Don't throw it out. Don't throw out your business because you're not making sales as you expected, right? Instead of that, back off, get mentally refreshed, and try it again. Okay. So if we can share some examples, how do you refresh? How do you get yourself refreshed? After getting some no's and after hitting some disappointments, after you see that you're not getting the result you want, how do you liven yourself to recharge, to put the energy back? I think Fraser puts it this way, that some things zap your energy, but then you have to have energy suppliers, things that gives you energy to recharge yourself. So what are the things that that normally gives you energy? You can put in the chat, or you can raise hand. You can unmute and talk as well. That, what are the things? Personally, being able to, pour into others, it's an energy, amazing energy supply for me, right? Being able to show others what I know, it's an amazing way for me to gain energy. And of course, spending time with my family, dancing, and just volunteering at my place of worship. Those are high level ways of gaining energy for me. All right. And then of course, all of this, we have to have that mental fortitude, because seeing the good side pays off in big situations too. We have to see the good side of things, right? This is very crucial. You see in any situation what you expect to see. Very, very critical. You see in any situation what you expect to see. So could that be the reason you're getting the result you're getting? Because you're expecting that result. But we need to change that now. Begin to see the good. Begin to see the good side and conquer defeat. All things do work together for good if you just develop clear vision. Thank you, Dr. Henry. Setting goals and fulfilling them. Yes. Amazing, amazing energy booster. Helping somebody become someone in life. And network marketing is just an amazing tool to do that. Right? It's because they'll be proud of their accomplishment instead of, just giving them handouts. They are building, businesses that they can even will to their children. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yes, that's very, very much so. Now going to chapter 12, if anyone has any contribution, please unmute, let me know, or you can put it in the chat. Chapter 12 says, use goals to help you grow. So that's a very good segue from Dr. Irene's comment. It says setting goals and fulfilling them. So to help one grow as a way to overcome defeat, using goals, right? Every accomplishment, every success, because if you don't set a goal, if you don't determine what success is in your business, you're not going to acknowledge it as success. So for every business, there has to be something that determines success. You have to be able to identify, okay, this is the destination that I'm going this month. And when you arrive at that destination, you acknowledge it. But if you don't set a destination, wherever you are, you will still be confused because you don't even know why you got to where you are. You don't even know what you're doing where you got to because you just, you gave an example, like just get into an airport and say, I want to buy a ticket. The very first question they're going to ask you is to where? What's your destination? I just want to get out of here. Anywhere. There will be a lot of, question. They will still continue to ask you questions because if you don't have a destination, you cannot get there. There has to be a there that you're getting to. A goal is an objective, a purpose. A goal is more than a dream. It's a dream being acted upon, right? We have to dream, but then for that dream to become a goal, for it to be actualized, it has to be worked upon. A goal is clear. This is what I'm working towards, right? So without goals, individuals just wander through life. One of the things that I found out is, and I just want to kind of open our mind to it as well. Hopefully, I don't know if any of us is, I've been thinking in that direction too. What's your retirement plan? Just throwing it far out there. By God's grace, I'm middle age now. In another 40 years, what would that look like for me? Yeah, what will retirement look like for you? One thing that I've noticed is this, when you're grown, you want to take care of your parents, you retire them, and then they just sit at home. They feel idle. And if you notice the results of them not having, something to look forward to accomplish, their health begins to decline. I've noticed that in a lot of our parents, in a lot of people. And that's why just this morning, after dropping off my children at school, I saw one of the teachers. When you see him, he's just an ordinary guy, but he came out of a sport car. And of course, ordinarily, it could be riding that, on whatever salary he has. But then it could be a very accomplished person that's looking to give back. So teaching, not necessarily for the money. So at retirement, you can, as you run your business, still have other courses that you're pursuing. There's a woman, maybe in her 70s now, in her 60s, that's going back, is a very popular woman of God, going back to college to read law. That is a formidable goal to look forward to. A lot of things that she has set for herself, right? So at retirement, what do you want to be doing? Yes, idleness is an energy sucker. Yes, a retirement plan. And let me tell you this: I'm going to help my children raise a family is not a retirement goal. Because you might plan that, okay, I'll be there for my children. I'll help them, when they have children, my daughter, my son, I'll stay with them. I'll be going from one child to another. That is not a retirement goal, because they might have spouses that don't want you around. Then what do you do? We've seen that. And then you become resentful rather, of the spouse, because the spouse feels they can do life without you, which is possible. So if your retirement goal is, I'm going to, take care of my grandchildren, going from one place to another, because that's what some of our parents are doing now. If that's your plan, you better change it. Better change it. We have to have goals that will be, that that will continue to excite you when you wake up in the morning, no matter how old you get. We have to have it. So the important thing is not where you were or where you are, but where you want to get. This is the summation from Dave Mahoney. He rose from a low-paying job in the mailroom of an advertising agency to become an agency vice president at 27 and president of the Good Humor Company at 33. He had goals. So it's not where you are, where you're coming from, where you're raised from. It is where you're going. Where do you want to get to? All right. So the modern corporation does not leave its future to chance. Why should you? Your business, what is the goal? In a year, where a year has passed, 6 months, we're in the second year. Those of us that started with the company, we're in the second year. What's your goal? What do you want to accomplish in 10 years? Where do you see yourself with this company, or in your network marketing business in general? Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Right? We have companies that allows you to will your company, to will your business to your children. How do you plan to begin to bring in your children so that that transition can be smooth, right? So your goals might be, okay, I want to travel the world during that period, but there has to be other things that takes mental efforts that you are able to to think, you are able to strategize. It has to something that boosts your energy beyond just relaxation, right? So before you start out, know where you want to go. Very, very helpful. And these are 2 steps that will help. Forward planning. Visualize your future in terms of 3 departments: your work, your home, and your social life, right? And then the second one, demand of yourself clear, precise answers to these questions. What do I want to accomplish with my life? What do I want to be? And what does it take to satisfy me? And then he says, imagine an image of me 10 years from now, 10 years planning guide. I will say we should take time to go through this and do this for ourselves. 10 years from now, what will your business look like? 10 years from now, what will your marriage look like? What will your children, your family look like? 10 years from now, what kind of friends would you have in your circle? How would your community, the community you're building, how will it look like, right? What are the, what wild courses that you will be engaged in? What are the things you will engage yourself in? All right, so you have to have desire to get ahead. Very, very important. And these are 5 weapons, 5 suicidal weapons that must be destroyed immediately. Self-deprecation. We've said this throughout this book. Self-depreciation. Do not allow yourself to think or even say out that I can't do it. No. Or I lack the brain, I lack the brain or the education or the experience. Never allow yourself to say that, or be insecure, securitize it, itis. Oh no, allow yourself to feel like, okay, this job is giving me something constant all the time. This is where I'm going to be. I've got security where I am, so I'm not going to, if it's not broke, why change it? No, don't allow yourself to be like that. Competition, feeling like, the field is already crowded. Don't allow that to kill your dream. Parental dictation or spousal dictation or peer dictation, don't allow that to bog you down as well. And family responsibility, right? There are a lot of things that coming up, your family is growing, and it has a way, it might have, has a way of bogging down your goal and your dreams. But you mentioned there could be detours. Things will come up, unexpected expenses, unexpected babies even. Unexpected babies could come up, right? They'll take detours, but don't change your goals. Do not change your goals. Very, 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 very important. Here it says, with your goal, your goal is absorbed into your subconscious mind, you react the right way automatically. Auto-suggestion. Automatically you pick you make the right choices. The conscious mind is free for clear and straight thinking. So the goal constantly speaks. I am the image you want to make real. Here is what you must do to make me real. So one has to have that goal set so that you have something you are pushing for. All right. Goals, intense goals can keep a person alive when nothing else will. A lot of people have come out of critical illness, some form of life, death sentence kind of illness, like cancer or some very terrible illnesses, just because they had, the image of, maybe walking their daughter down the aisle, having their father-daughter dance or mother-son dance. That image kept keeping the hope alive in them because that was the goal that they set, right? And they are able to beat the sickness because they had that goal. Apply such to your business as well. What is the goal that you're going for? And definitely with that goal, also suggestion, your subconscious mind will make choices that will be right for you. You just have a feeling, okay, post now, or reach out to this person, or go, that store over there, just walk in and talk to them, because your goal is, all absorbed in you. Okay, steps. We take little steps to accomplish this goal as well. This is when he was talking about a mile at a time, right? We don't jump into the end goal. It has to be, it's one day at a time, right? And then another exercise we must do. I love that the book is ending with some life transforming exercises, right? It says 30-day improvement guide. Let's go through these as well. Break the habits you want to break, the habits you want to begin to pick up, and then how to increase my value to my employer in these ways, right? How to increase my value to my home in these ways, right? So those are the things. And then how to sharpen your mind. Very, very, very important. Yes. So taking detours, we don't have to change our goals. We just travel different routes. Very, very, very important. And then lastly, the 13th chapter, how to think like a leader. I love the summary of this. I'll just go there right away because of our time. The summary of this chapter is just so nicely put together. It just talks about 3 or 5. Yes, here we are. So to become a more effective leader, put these 4 leadership principles to work, right? It talks about being able to think like a leader, how to think like a leader, how to think as an entrepreneur, how to think as a leader of your team, right, in your business. It says trade minds with the people you want to influence. As we engage in this business, who are the people you want to influence? right? Your customers or prospects that you want to join your business. It says trade minds with them. What are your customers thinking? What are your prospects thinking? And those are the ones, when you put yourself in their shoes, you'll be able to ask the question, what will I think of this if I exchange places with the other person? So whoever is seeing your ads, what would they be thinking, right? So what do you want them to think, right? What would they think when they see what you're posting? What would they think when they come to the prospecting call? Things like that. So put yourself in their place. And then it says, another way to be more effective as a leader is to apply be human rule. Be human. Ask yourself this question often. What is the human way to handle this? You have a difficult customer. What is the human way to handle this? You have maybe on social media a troll that's just, you know, on your post all the time, but has nothing positive to contribute, right? Rather coming at you, coming against you. What will be the human way to handle this? So in everything we do, that show that you put other people first, right? So don't take anything, any attack personal. Just find a way to treat them as human as well, right? No matter how they have treated you, don't stoop low to their level, because when you pay them in their own coins, you're not different from them. You're not different from them. And then for members of your team, you know, you might have members that are not as active as you would, you know, desire they are. Be human. Put yourself in their shoe. What is going on in their lives, right? What is the human way to handle such inactive members of your team? And then think progress, believe in progress, push for progress all the time. And that is one of the traits of a leader. How can I make this better? How can we get, you know, what you improve your capacity as well? How can I do more? What can I do to help? Those are the things that set you up as a leader. And then take time out to confer with yourself and tap your supreme thinking power. When in the book, when he said a lot of people are afraid of thinking or afraid to be alone with their own thoughts. That kind of got to me, really. Like, have I been afraid to just, you know, sit down with my own thoughts and just, you know, engage it in a constructive way, manage it, right? Manage that thought, and milk out creative ideas, right? That was very, very crucial for me. And I'm going to go back to the exercises in the book to master that, to get better at that very, very well. So let's see here. That's it. There are some life activities that is saying here, like life scenarios, right? How to use the magic of thinking big in life's most crucial situations. When little people try to drive you down, think big. You win when you refuse to fight petty people. Fighting little people reduces you to their size. Stay big. Expect to be sniped at. It's proof you're growing. When you don't, when you get the most pushback, that's it. You should get excited. Take the screenshot. Why? Because that is how you're building your success story. When somebody, when you reach out to them, you know, they say no, take notice of it. Not as something to push you down, but that's where the logic of how many no's can you get? Going for no's, rather. The book Going for No's, right? Because it helps you to take no with excitement. Yes, another no. Yes. How many no's can I get in a day? Yes, another no, right? It builds, and that means you have to keep doing what you're doing because you're going for the no's. And then when you get the yes, it's even much more sweeter because then that reduces the number of no's you're going for. So you have to go for more. That means then you have to go for more, right? So very, 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 very lovely. Having this type of mind. Remind yourself that snipers are psychologically sick. Be big, feel sorry for them. Whoever snaps at you, it's not you, it's them. They have, other things that they're dealing with. They're just taking it out on you, right? So I think it was in this book, like on regular, most people are nice. It's just that you might be dealing with some other things. So I don't allow his bad day to turn my good day to a bad day. Think big enough to be immune to the attacks of petty people. When that I haven't got what it takes feeling creeps up on you, think big, right? With that natural tendency to sell yourself short with these tools, look important. It helps you to think big. How you look on the outside has a lot to do with how you feel on the inside. Concentrate on your assets, build a sell yourself to yourself commercial and use it. I love all this because these are like snapshot of everything we have read in this book. Learn to supercharge yourself. Know your positive self. Put other people in proper perspective. They are human. The other person is just another human being. So why be afraid of him? If I reach out to them, like now, before it used to be like, I think it was Ray Higdon that actually broke that thing for me. Fraser was of the opinion, friend people, just farm, like find, add message, just farm people, but then within me, I'm like, I have the motive of one day, I'm going to message these people about my product. Then that I felt reluctant because some of them, I was just messaging them, kind of building the rapport forever, like a week, 2 weeks before actually coming out to say, okay, this is what but then it's gives like the mindset of, okay, that's what you were friending me for in the first place. So me singing them happy birthday, me messaging them that I like their post is just hypocritical in my eyes then. So I felt so reluctant. But then Ray Higdon, I think it was Ray Higdon, he came in and said, why find, add everybody? Find a message, period. Find, message. You don't have to add everybody to your contact list. Find, message. Once they join your business, or once they are open to purchasing from you, then you can add them. Once you see how they respond to you and you feel, okay, I still want to be friends with this person for real, then you can add them. Find, message. So that's what I do now. I go on, look for people, we have the same interests, we follow the same people, or I started following the people they are following. That's the only ad I do now, right? I start following, the people I want to reach out to. I start following the people, with the followers I want to reach out to. And I message them right away. I don't know you. I know we don't know each other, but I have this amazing, business opportunity that I know you can take advantage of. Let's talk. If you're interested, here is my WhatsApp number. And those that are interested, reaches out, we talk, they attend prospect calls, and we go from there, So it doesn't have that, like, okay, I'm going to message them about business in 2 days, in 3 days. That's motive behind it. No, straight away. Okay. So we're able to put them, I'm able to, like, if I reach out to you, you don't accept what I bring out. That's it. We don't have to be friends but if I've added them and you rejected and I feel like, your response is, will I now go and unfriend them? But if I reach out to you, you're not responding to me, I've not added you in the first place, so there's no problem. All right, then amazing conclusions here, and I know we've all enjoyed this book. let me know how this book has impacted you. I know we're all, reading it on our own terms, reading it together with other people. It's really, really a great one, to learn from. And yes, I really love our time together here. So I want to appreciate everyone. By next week, we're going to be in March, and we're going to be starting Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Business of the 21st Century. I am, expectant on that one. And then after that, maybe we'll go for nose. I don't know if that's the name of the book for itself, but I know there's a book like that, just shoot for nose, collect as many no's as you can. All right, thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all. Till next week, enjoy your week. And closing, of course, we have about 6 more days in the month. So let's get those closing done. And I know we miss Diana, right? We're missing Diana, and I'm glad they're enjoying amazing time in Singapore. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to behold. All right, everyone. Enjoy your evening, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
All right,
you.
bye, everybody.
Thank you, Mommy.
You
Good
are
night.
welcome. Bye.
Bye.